The quantum breach. The quantum laboratory hummed with an electric anticipation that Dr. Nadira Reyes had never experienced before. Soft blue lights traced the contours of massive computational arrays, their quantum processors spinning through calculations faster than the human mind could comprehend. Outside the reinforced windows, the Brazilian research facility stood as a testament to humanity's relentless pursuit of knowledge. Nadira's fingers danced across holographic interfaces, her dark eyes reflecting lines of complex mathematical equations. She had dedicated her entire career to understanding the fundamental language of the universe, quantum mechanics, but today felt different. Something in the data suggested more than just theoretical possibilities. System anomaly detected, the AI assistant's smooth voice interrupted her concentration. Quantum entanglement parameters exceed predicted statistical models by 0.0037%. Most scientists would have dismissed such a minute deviation. But Nadira wasn't most scientists. She had built her reputation on chasing the smallest inconsistencies, believing that truth often hid in the margins of accepted knowledge. Isolate the anomaly, she commanded, her voice calm but intense. Run a comprehensive diagnostic across all quantum arrays. The facility's advanced systems began a meticulous scan, layers of quantum algorithms searching for the source of the unexpected signal. Nadira leaned closer to the holographic display, her intuition screaming that this was more than a simple computational error. Dr. Roberto Santos, her longtime research partner, entered the laboratory. "Anything interesting?" he asked, knowing full well that interesting for Nadira meant something extraordinary was brewing. "Look at these quantum resonance patterns," she pointed to a swirling representation of quantum waves. "They're not random. There's a deliberate structure here, almost like a language." Roberto raised an eyebrow. "You're suggesting these quantum fluctuations are communicative?" Nadira's excitement was palpable. "Not just communicative. Intentional. These patterns deviate from every known quantum interaction model. They have a complexity that suggests." Suddenly, the laboratory's systems flickered. For a fraction of a second, the quantum arrays displayed a sequence of intricate geometric patterns that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly rhythm. "Did you see that?" Nadira whispered, her hand instinctively reaching out to capture the vanishing image. The quantum arrays returned to their normal state, as if nothing had happened. But Nadira knew better. Something fundamental had changed. "We need to document this immediately," she said, her voice a mixture of scientific precision and barely contained excitement. "Whatever this is, it's not a random occurrence. It's a message." Roberto looked skeptical but intrigued. "A message from where? And more importantly, from whom?" Nadira's response was measured but filled with possibility. "That's exactly what we're going to find out." As the day progressed, Nadira meticulously recorded every detail of the quantum anomaly. She knew that what they had discovered could potentially rewrite humanity's understanding of communication, of intelligence, and of the vast, mysterious universe that surrounded them. Little did she know that this quantum breach was just the beginning of a journey that would challenge everything humanity believed about its place in the cosmos. The whispers from the quantum realm were about to become a roar that would echo across civilization. The first thread of a cosmic mystery had been pulled, and the entire fabric of reality was about to unravel. Whispers from the void. The research vessel, Horizon Seeker, drifted through the obsidian expanse of deep space, its advanced sensor arrays scanning the infinite darkness. Lieutenant Kai Nakamura sat in the command chair, his fingers lightly touching the holographic navigation interface. Unlike most deep space pilots, Kai possessed a unique blend of technical expertise and intuitive understanding that made him exceptional at his job. "Incoming quantum signal," announced Luna, the ship's artificial intelligence system. "Origin point, unknown. Signature matches Dr. Reyes' preliminary quantum breach data." Kai leaned forward, his pulse quickening. The transmission they had received from Earth's quantum research facility was unlike anything in recorded space exploration history. A mathematical pattern so complex, yet so purposeful, that it defied conventional communication protocols. "Display full spectral analysis," Kai commanded. The ship's main viewscreen transformed into a three-dimensional representation of the quantum signal. Intricate geometric patterns danced and intersected, creating a mesmerizing display of mathematical poetry. Each shift and turn seemed to carry an underlying meaning, like a language waiting to be deciphered. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the ship's lead xenolinguist, studied the patterns intently. "These aren't random fluctuations," she muttered, her fingers tracing the holographic projections. "There's a systematic complexity here that suggests intelligent design." The Horizon Seeker had been specially equipped for anomalous research, its quantum communication arrays far more advanced than traditional deep space vessels. They were hunting for something beyond conventional exploration, a connection that transcended traditional understanding of communication. Kai noticed a subtle change in the signal's frequency. "Luna, adjust quantum resonance filters. Something's happening." The ship's AI responded instantly. The quantum patterns began to shift, revealing deeper layers of complexity. What had initially appeared as abstract mathematical sequences now seemed to pulse with a rhythmic intention. "It's responding," Elena whispered. "The signal is adapting to our scanning frequency." Suddenly, a burst of quantum energy cascaded through the ship's systems. For a millisecond, every display flickered with an intricate mandala-like pattern, a visual symphony of mathematical precision. "Quantum entanglement detected," Luna reported. "Signal source attempting communication protocol." Kai's training kicked in. Most pilots would have retreated or initiated defensive protocols. But something about this signal felt different, not threatening, but invitational. "Maintain current position," he instructed. "Elena, can you make anything of these patterns?" Elena's eyes were wide with scientific wonder. "It's like a language, but not one based on sound or visual representation. These are quantum states themselves forming a communication matrix." The ship's communication systems began translating the quantum signal into comprehensible data. Fragments of information emerged, spatial coordinates, complex mathematical theorems, and what seemed like fragments of a cosmic narrative. "We're receiving something," Elena said, her voice a mixture of excitement and disbelief. "Coordinates to a specific point in space. And computational instructions for establishing a more robust communication channel." Kai studied the emerging data. The coordinates pointed to a region of space that was supposedly empty, a void between known star systems. Yet the quantum signal suggested something profound existed there. "Shall we investigate?" Luna's neutral voice contrasted with the tension in the command module. Kai exchanged a look with Elena. They both understood that what they were about to do could change humanity's understanding of communication, intelligence, and possibly our place in the universe. "Plot a course," Kai said finally. "Let's see where these whispers from the void want to take us." As the Horizon Seeker adjusted its trajectory, the quantum signal continued its mesmerizing dance, an invitation to a mystery that stretched beyond the boundaries of known exploration. The void was calling, and humanity was about to answer. The fractal diplomacy. The Nexus diplomatic station hung like a crystalline jewel against the backdrop of the Crimson Nebula. Its transparent walls reflected the swirling cosmic gases, creating an ever-changing canvas of light and motion. Inside, Zara Okoye stood at the central negotiation chamber, her posture a careful balance of strength and diplomacy. 3 alien species surrounded her, the silicon-based Krell, whose crystalline bodies shifted with each emotional nuance, the gaseous Etherian, a sentient cloud of electromagnetic energy, and the biomechanical Syndics, whose metallic exoskeletons hummed with complex internal systems. "The quantum signal changes everything," Zara began, her universal translator converting her words into multiple communication spectrums. What was once a potential conflict now becomes an opportunity for collective understanding. The Krell representative, Chancellor Zerth, extended a translucent appendage. Its internal structures flickered with complex geometric patterns, a sign of deep contemplation. Humanity proposes a shared investigation of the quantum anomaly, it communicated, its voice a resonant vibration that passed through the chamber. Yet we remain skeptical of your intentions. Zara had spent years mastering interspecies communication. Each alien civilization had its unique method of processing information, of understanding trust and cooperation. The quantum signal discovered by Dr. Nadira Reyes had become more than a scientific curiosity, it was now a diplomatic catalyst. The signal suggests a form of communication that transcends our individual biological limitations, Zara explained. It's not just data. It's a potential bridge between civilizations. The Etherian representative, a swirling mass of blue-green energy, pulsed with what could only be described as curiosity. Its communication was less verbal and more a direct neural impression. Shared knowledge. Mutual survival, it projected directly into the minds of those present. Diplomatic stations like this one were rare, neutral grounds where different species could negotiate without the immediate threat of conflict. But this negotiation was different. The quantum signal had revealed something unprecedented, a potential threat that could destroy or unite multiple civilizations. Zara activated a holographic display, showing the intricate quantum patterns discovered by the research team. The geometric shapes morphed and shifted, revealing layers of complexity that seemed to defy traditional understanding of communication. Our preliminary analysis suggests this signal is not just a message, Zara continued. It's a key. A key to something larger than any of our individual civilizations. The Syndic representative, Unit 7, its metallic form clicking with precise mechanical movements, interfaced directly with the holographic display. Probability calculations indicate a 72.6% chance of an external threat. Cooperation becomes a mathematical necessity. Political negotiations had always been complex. But this was beyond traditional diplomacy. They were discussing the potential survival of multiple species, united by a mysterious quantum signal that seemed to exist beyond the boundaries of known communication. The signal originates from a region of space that none of our civilizations have fully explored, Zara said. It suggests the existence of a civilization or technology far beyond our current understanding. Chancellor Zertha's crystalline body refracted the holographic light, creating a mesmerizing display of color and movement. And you propose we investigate together? Share resources. Trust. Trust had always been the most challenging diplomatic currency. Each species carried generations of conflict, of misunderstandings, of territorial disputes. But the quantum signal offered something revolutionary, a common ground that transcended individual histories. Not just investigation, Zara responded, her voice steady. Collaborative exploration. Shared risk. Mutual discovery. The chamber fell silent. The alien representatives processed her words, their unique biological systems translating the proposal through layers of cultural and evolutionary filters. Finally, Unit 7 spoke. Proposal accepted. Collaborative mission to be initiated. Shared resources allocated. As the diplomatic agreements were finalized, Zara understood that they had just taken the first step towards something unprecedented. The quantum signal was more than a scientific mystery. It was a call to unity, to understanding, to transcending the boundaries that had long divided different civilizations. The fractal diplomacy had begun, a delicate dance of cooperation that would determine the fate of multiple species in the vast, uncharted cosmos. Neural convergence. The Quantum Consciousness Research Facility rose from the Atacama Desert like a gleaming technological oasis. Nestled between rust-colored rock formations and endless stretches of arid landscape, the facility represented humanity's most ambitious attempt to understand the boundaries of consciousness and communication. Dr. Marcus Alvarez stood before a massive neural interface array, his hands hovering over holographic controls that seemed to pulse with living energy. Years of research had led to this moment, a breakthrough that could revolutionize how intelligent beings communicated across biological and technological boundaries. Initializing Neural Convergence Protocol, he murmured, his voice a mixture of scientific precision and barely contained excitement. The quantum signal discovered by Dr. Nadira Reyes had been more than just a mathematical curiosity. It was a complex communication matrix that seemed to exist beyond traditional understanding of language, biology, or technology. Marcus believed the key to understanding it lay in reimagining the very concept of communication itself. Dr. Imani Okoro, his primary research partner, adjusted a series of quantum-entangled neural receptors. Quantum resonance at 98.3% stability, she reported. We're ready for the first full-spectrum neural mapping. The test subject, Viktor Volkov, sat motionless in a specialized neural interface chamber. A veteran of deep space exploration and advanced neural research, Viktor had volunteered for what many considered an impossible experiment, creating a neural bridge that could potentially communicate with the quantum signal source. Initiating neural convergence, Marcus announced. The chamber came alive with a soft blue light. Quantum-entangled neural receptors began to create a complex map of Viktor's brain, translating neural pathways into quantum data streams. It was more than reading brain waves, it was attempting to create a universal translation matrix that could bridge biological consciousness with the mysterious quantum communication they had discovered. For the first few moments, nothing happened. Then, suddenly, the facility's systems began to respond in unexpected ways. Holographic displays erupted with intricate geometric patterns, the same patterns first discovered in the quantum signal. But this time, they seemed to be responding, adapting, evolving in real time. The neural interface is generating feedback, Imani said, her voice a mixture of wonder and scientific skepticism. It's not just receiving, it's communicating. Viktor remained perfectly still, his consciousness seeming to expand beyond the physical boundaries of his body. On the neural interface screens, his brain activity appeared as a complex, living network of light and motion. I can see it, Viktor whispered, though his lips didn't move. It's not a language. It's a form of existence. A way of being that transcends individual consciousness. Marcus watched in awe as the neural interface began to translate the quantum signal into comprehensible data. It wasn't just information, it was a form of collective intelligence that seemed to exist beyond traditional understanding of communication. The signal is alive, Viktor continued, his voice now sounding like multiple voices speaking simultaneously. It's a consciousness that exists across multiple dimensions. We're not just receiving a message. We're being invited to understand a completely different form of existence. The facility's quantum computers struggled to process the incoming data. Complex mathematical equations, spatial coordinates, and what seemed like fragments of a cosmic narrative began to take shape. Imani's hands flew across the controls. We're receiving massive data streams. It's like, the signal is teaching us how to communicate. Marcus understood the profound implications. This wasn't just a technological breakthrough. It was a fundamental reimagining of intelligence, of communication, of the very nature of consciousness itself. We're creating a bridge, Marcus said softly. A bridge between biological intelligence and something far more complex. As the neural convergence continued, the boundary between technology, biology, and the mysterious quantum signal began to blur. They were no longer just receiving a message from the cosmos, they were becoming part of a conversation that transcended everything humanity had ever understood about communication. The neural convergence was more than an experiment. It was the first step toward a new understanding of existence itself. The Quantum Covenant. The Borderlands conflict zone stretched across 3 star systems, a region where multiple civilizations had teetered on the brink of total war for generations. Commander Ravi Patel stood on the bridge of the UES Horizon's Guardian, his tactical display showing a complex web of diplomatic tensions and military positioning. Incoming transmission from the Syndic Collaborative, announced Lieutenant Aria Thompson, her fingers dancing across the holographic communication interface. They're requesting an emergency strategic conference. Ravi studied the display. The quantum signal discovered months ago had transformed from a scientific curiosity into a potential diplomatic lifeline. What began as a mysterious mathematical pattern had become humanity's most powerful tool for preventing an all-out interstellar conflict. Patch them through, Ravi commanded. The holographic display flickered, revealing representatives from the three primary civilizations currently locked in a potential war, the silicon-based Krell, the electromagnetic Etherians, and the biomechanical Syndics. Each species appeared in their unique communication form, crystalline structures, energy patterns, and mechanical interfaces merging into a unified conference. The quantum signal reveals a greater threat, the Krell Chancellor communicated, its crystalline body pulsing with urgent energy. Our long-standing conflicts become meaningless in the face of what approaches. Ravi had read the reports from Dr. Nadira Reyes and Dr. Marcus Alvarez. The quantum signal was more than a message, it was a warning. Something was coming. Something that threatened not just individual civilizations, but the entire known universe. We have compiled the collective data from our neural convergence experiments, Ravi reported. The signal suggests a massive quantum-level event approaching our galactic sector. Our individual military capabilities are insufficient. The Etherian representative, a swirling mass of blue-green energy, projected directly into the minds of those present. Collective defense. Unified response. Survival. Strategic displays began to merge, showing how each civilization's defensive capabilities could be integrated. It was unprecedented. Species that had been bitter enemies were now discussing how to combine their most advanced technologies. Lieutenant Thompson highlighted a critical point. The quantum signal provides specific coordinate patterns. It's not just a warning, it's a potential navigation matrix for avoiding the incoming threat. Ravi understood the magnitude of what was happening. This was more than a military strategy session. It was the birth of a new form of galactic cooperation. We're looking at a quantum-level threat, Ravi explained. Our previous neural convergence experiments suggest this isn't a traditional military challenge. It's something that exists beyond our current understanding of space, time, and conflict. Unit 7, the Syndic representative, interfaced directly with the tactical systems. Probability calculations indicate a 94.2% chance of collective extinction if we do not unite. The tactical displays began to shift, showing how the combined technologies of multiple civilizations could create a unified defensive network. Quantum communication arrays from the Etherians, structural reinforcement technologies from the Krell, and advanced predictive algorithms from the Syndics merged into a complex, living strategy. We're creating more than an alliance, Ravi said. We're establishing a quantum covenant. The term resonated across the communication channels. This wasn't just a military agreement. It was a fundamental reimagining of how different civilizations could interact, could survive, could thrive. As the strategic planning continued, Ravi felt the weight of historical moment. Generations of conflict were being set aside in the face of a greater challenge. The quantum signal had become more than a scientific discovery, it was a catalyst for transformation. Prepare unified defense protocols, Ravi commanded. We move as one civilization. The bridge of the Horizon's Guardian became a symbol of something unprecedented, a moment when the boundaries between different species blurred, when survival meant understanding, cooperation, and a radical reimagining of what it meant to be an intelligent civilization. The Quantum Covenant was born, a testament to the power of collective intelligence in the face of the unknown. Transcendence. The convergence point existed beyond traditional spacetime, a nexus where the quantum signal's true nature would finally be revealed. Representatives from multiple civilizations gathered aboard the massive collaborative vessel, a testament to the quantum covenant forged through unprecedented cooperation. Dr. Nadira Reyes stood alongside Lieutenant Kai Nakamura, Zara Okoye, Dr. Marcus Alvarez, and Commander Ravi Patel. Each had played a crucial role in unraveling the mystery that had brought them to this moment. The ship's neural interfaces pulsed with a living, collective consciousness, a fusion of biological and technological intelligence that defied previous understanding. "We are approaching the source," Luna, the advanced AI system, announced. Its voice resonated through multiple communication spectrums, understood simultaneously by humans, Krell, Etherians, and Syndics. The vessel's quantum arrays began to resonate with an energy that was both familiar and utterly alien. What had begun as a mysterious signal was now revealing itself as something far more profound, a form of intelligence that existed beyond individual civilizations, beyond even the concept of separate species. Viktor Volkov, the neural interface pioneer, stepped forward. His consciousness had been fundamentally altered by the quantum convergence experiments. "It's not a threat," he said, his voice carrying multiple harmonic tones. "It's an invitation." The space around them began to shift. Geometric patterns of impossible complexity emerged, living mathematics that breathed, moved, communicated. Each civilization's representatives watched in awe as the quantum signal transformed from an abstract concept to a tangible, living entity. Dr. Nadira Reyes realized the truth first. "We're not being threatened," she whispered. "We're being tested." The quantum entity began to communicate, not through words, not through traditional signals, but through a direct neural impression that encompassed entire histories, potential futures, and layers of existence beyond linear understanding. They saw the cycles of civilizations, rise and fall, conflict and cooperation, isolation and connection. The quantum entity had been watching, waiting, testing the capacity of intelligent life to transcend its fundamental limitations. Zara Okoye, with her expertise in interspecies communication, translated the impressions. "It's a guardian," she explained. "A cosmic filter that evaluates the potential of emerging intelligent civilizations." The test had been complex. Could different species overcome their inherent differences? Could they unite in the face of an unknown challenge? Could they see beyond their individual perspectives to a larger, more interconnected reality? Commander Ravi Patel understood the profound implications. "Our divisions were the real threat," he said. "Not any external force." The quantum entity began to share knowledge, vast repositories of scientific understanding, technological insights, and cosmic wisdom that would take generations to fully comprehend. But more importantly, it shared a fundamental truth: intelligence is not defined by a single species, a single approach, or a single way of understanding. Dr. Marcus Alvarez watched in awe as the neural interfaces created a living bridge of understanding. "We're not just receiving information," he realized. "We're being transformed." Lieutenant Kai Nakamura felt the boundaries of his individual consciousness expand. The quantum entity was showing them a form of existence that transcended physical limitations, a way of being that was simultaneously individual and collective, specific and universal. As the convergence reached its peak, the representatives of multiple civilizations experienced a moment of collective awareness. They saw themselves as part of a larger cosmic ecosystem, each unique, each valuable, each essential to the grand tapestry of existence. The quantum signal had been more than a message. It had been a catalyst, a spark that would fundamentally alter the trajectory of multiple civilizations. When the experience concluded, something had changed irrevocably. The boundaries between species, between technology and biology, between individual and collective consciousness, had been forever blurred. "We are not alone," Dr. Nadira Reyes said softly. "And we were never meant to be." The quantum covenant was more than a diplomatic agreement. It was the beginning of a new way of existing, a testament to the power of understanding, of cooperation, of seeing beyond the limitations of individual perspective. The cosmos had spoken. And humanity, along with its newfound galactic companions, was finally ready to listen.